Hi West Babylon and happy ThursD.I.Y. On this lovely Thursday, we are going to be making paw print ornaments using homemade Play-Doh. So for this project, you're going to need quite a few things. First, before you get started, preheat your oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. We are going to have to bake the ornaments after we make the Play-Doh to keep everything nice and solid and dry out, and to help it dry out. So for this, we need 2 cups of flour, a half a cup of salt, and 3/4 cup water. I'm not going to lift that because I'll probably spill it everywhere. We also need a bowl, and that's for our first step of making the salt dough. For the second step, we need parchment paper and a rolling pin. Now, unfortunately, I don't own a rolling pin, so I'm going to use my Mod Podge, which is what I'm going to use for the next one of the other steps, as a rolling pin. So if you don't have something laying around the house that you can use, be creative. Use something else to suit the need. Now, after we roll out our dough, we are going to need to cut it. So we need a cookie cutter, which I'm using the lid of my dog's treats because I figured it was fitting. You also need straws to poke the holes for the top of the ornament where the ribbon goes through, and toothpicks if you want to draw any other designs into your ornament. For the next step, you're going to need paints, so white, blue. You're also going to need Mod Podge. You don't have to use blue, but I'm choosing to use blue as my main color. You're going to need paper towels, a large and small paintbrush, red Solo cup of water, glitter. Everyone loves glitter. And for the very last step, when you're ready to hang your ornament, your scissors and your twine. Now, the most important thing of all is your pet, because we're going to need their paw print to make the imprint in our ornament. Now, if you don't have a dog or a cat and you don't want to use their paw print, you can also do children's handprints. You can do seashells, any object that has texture, you could press it into your dough ornament. So let's get started. So this is the messiest part of the whole procedure. So we're going to mix our ingredients together. So our 2 cups of flour, our half a cup of salt, and now I'm going to be very careful, and our 3/4 cups of water. So now if you want to use gloves you can, but I'm just going to use my hand and mix all of my ingredients together. And you can feel as you start to mix it, it becomes a dough ball. Once it's all incorporated and in one giant ball of dough, you're going to knead this for 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is pause the video. I'm going to knead my dough. As you can see, it's a very messy mixture. And then when we're ready to roll it out, I will see you again. All right, West Babylon, so here is our ball of Play-Doh. So now we have to roll it out. It's all incorporated. So like I said, I'm using my Mod Podge. It's multi-purpose today. And I'm going to roll out my dough as thick as I want it. So I roll one way, then I'm going to switch it and roll the other way. And now, say you don't have a rolling pin, you really want to have a container or a bottle that has a smooth surface because you don't want the texture to impact your dough. You want your dough nice and smooth when it's rolled out. I think I'm getting there, which is more of a workout than I've had all month. All right. There we go. I've rolled my dough out to where I want it. So now is the fun part where we get to cut it. So I'm going to use my large circular cookie cutter, and I'm going to punch it into the dough. Now the dough is super, super fluffy, so you really have to get a lot of pressure on the cutter to go fully through the dough. It does get a little stuck, and that's okay. Okay. I'm using parchment paper to just help me get a nice unstuck cookie. Okay, so there you have one ornament. All right, and we have our second. There's a lot of air as you push down, so it is very difficult. And these guys don't want to come out. It's okay. Just pull it out. All right. So now we have our ornaments. Okay, we have our circles. I'm going to take my excess dough and just put it off to the side for now. If I want to make a couple more, I will put the dough back together and then recut it. So then I'm going to take a straw, okay? I'm going to punch a hole in my ornament at the very top of the ornament. And the straw is really cool because it just takes it right out. I'll show you. So here we have our little hole. Then I have my toothpicks. I'm going to write my dog's name on the bottom with my toothpick, and her name is Dixie. So what I do is I start with the middle letter of the name and I center it. So the middle letter of her name is X. So what I do is I put it right under my hole, and then I draw out the other letters from that letter to make sure that the whole name is spaced evenly on my cookie or my ornament. It looks like a cookie to me. So I'm just going to finish writing in her name, and I'm going to get my dog and I'll show you how to stamp her paw print. Alright, so here's my craft buddy Dixie. So I'm going to show you how to stamp her paw print. Now with this, it's so important to be gentle because you don't want to hurt your pup. So what I do is I just gently put her paw on the dough and I massage it in without putting pressure. And she doesn't really like it. So we don't want to torture our pets. So alright, that's okay. She only wants to do one paw print. So we have one paw print, and let's just say hi to West Bab. Hi West Babylon, thanks for joining us. Alright, so let me get her situated and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so we stamped our paw print. With Dixie, I got one of them. I wrote her name in. So now this goes in the oven on 250 degrees Fahrenheit. I do 2 hours on the top side, and then after 2 hours I flip it over and I do 1 hour on the back side. You can also leave these out to have them harden, but if you're in a rush or just want to get the craft done quicker, just leave it low and slow in your oven. Okay, so I have a finished one that I already baked, and you can see how it's hardened. So now I'm going to show you how to paint it. So I take my large brush and I dip a little bit of color. You can use whatever color you want. And what I'm going to do is gently just brush the color over. And what I like about doing this way is that it leaves the imprint of her paw prints in the color of the dough. You could incorporate color into your dough originally. I chose not to for my project. I like the way it looks painted. So I'm going to paint my entire ornament blue. And you can see how the imprints of the paw prints stay without color. Now, if you want to be just done with your ornament, you could leave it like this. I think there's something very rustic about leaving it, but I love glitter. I love all the pizzazz, so I'm going to add paint on the inside of my paw prints and glitter. So not only do you paint the entire ornament, you're going to have to paint your edges. So I just go around the whole circle, painting. Also, I do want to say that after these are baked, leave them somewhere where your dog can't get them. I know that they're made with flour and sugar, so they seem like they're edible, but you don't want your pet to get sick. God forbid they get them. Alright, so I'm doing the entire outside. Alright, so now that's my large brush. Just going to get in. Okay, then with your very tiny brush, you're going to take a little bit of white and you're going to just outline the inside of each paw print. Now this is going to take a little while. So I do the bottom of the paw print first and just be very gentle and just follow the line that was made by the imprint. I do it for the pad of the paw and then for each little toe. Just these nice cute little round shapes. And I love how the paw prints aren't perfect, because it just shows that your dog, like any other family member, has character. My dog is a family member. All right, so there is the white painted in on our ornament. I'm going to do that on both and then let them dry, and I'll show you how to do the glitter next. Okay, so I painted the inside of each paw print white, so now we're going to add the glitter. So what I do is I pour a little Mod Podge onto my plate, I put it onto my brush, and then I just gently dab it over the spots that have my white paint. It's as if you're painting a second layer of white, because you really won't be able to see it. So just make sure that anywhere you want glitter, you put some Mod Podge. Okay. And you're going to do that for both paw prints. I'm just going over all the white spots. And I try to be as clean as I can with glitter because glitter has a tendency of getting everywhere. So the strategy that I use to make it as clean as possible is to actually just pinch the glitter and put it onto the spots. So here we go. I put Mod Podge on all the white sections. And now I'm going to take my thumb and my pointer, pinch a little glitter, and just sprinkle it over the sections that have the Mod Podge. I'm going to do this for the entire thing. And I'm avoiding the rest of the ornament because I don't want unnecessary glitter getting stuck in places it shouldn't be. And it's just less to brush off later. Alright, so my paw prints are now coated in glitter. So I'm going to take my brush again with my Mod Podge on it, and I'm just going to gently press the glitter into each little section that I had glued originally. Okay, and now my brush is good, so I'm going to dump that into my water, and then you can just shake your ornament so the glitter falls out, and now you have glitter inside each paw print. Now our last, most important step is to put the ribbon in so that we can hang it. So to do this, I take a piece of twine, I fold it in half, and I loop it through the back hole of the top of my ornament. Now I have this hole here, and I'm going to take the two strings that are on their own and just tuck them through that loop that I created by pushing it through the hole, tighten it, and there you go, your ornament's hung. And now you just have to tie the top of the ornament. And I do this twice because it is a heavier ornament. You don't want the knot to come out. So I'm double knotting. All right. And then there you have it. You have your original, completely homemade paw print ornament. Thank you for joining me again for this ThursD.I.Y., and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.